Hello, and welcome to the Zooming Hoosk Podcast. And I am your host, Dustin DaHusky.
And I am an amplified Sourpuss.
Hello, Sourpuss. So, thought I would give, and many crunching cats. So, this will be my last podcast.
What?
Never, huh? No, this will be my last podcast with my current job until Saturday, and then starting next week is my new job. Only then will I know what the future will bring as far as upload schedules, so we'll just have to see from there, but I'm more confident that this podcast will continue. It just may be a bit less frequent, maybe once a week instead of twice a week. But still, we'll find a way around stuff. So yeah. I'm not too concerned about that. It's all about growing up and such. On the Twitter and of course social media news, you shouldn't really put too much incentive in them. However, it is a good petri dish of kind of what's going on. Often a lot better than news sites, just because news sites, they're not picking up things as they occur, even though we live in that reality of instant news. Social media, particularly Twitter, is going to be the first one to talk about it before anyone else. Because it's that kind of a social media type of website. And today I was I was reading an article stating that COVID is not a temporary problem. It will linger around longer than we want it to, and we may end up needing to learn how to coexist with COVID for the time being until things gradually improve to where it's not a public safety risk. And you know what? Knowing how stupid some people are in the world, I can believe that. Vaccines. There are some companies that are having trouble trying to get out a vaccine. And some are having a hard time trying to make enough vaccines to get around, and, well, the 100 million people in 100 days, which does sound like a very noble cause to get as many people within the country vaccinated. I don't know if it's actually going to be upheld. I think logistically this country is in dire straits. I just think this pandemic, this virus, is actually kicking our ass. And while we find a means to counteract it, I think within time it's going to mutate to other things. And I don't think it'll be enough to stop it fully. In time we can. I just don't think we'll be able to fully stop this within the end of the year. I think we're looking at this as a multi-year problem, like Spanish influenza. That took about 2 years, and then all of a sudden we kind of ignored it. Well, it's not that we ignored it. We kind of forgot that it happened. Spanish influenza of 1918 to 1920 never really came to any of our minds until recently with pandemic, right? Yep. Well, we're living in the moment where now the pandemic is the word of the day. And as furries, we know that there's some furcons that are wanting to get up to speed to go again. I don't want to be the pessimist. I'm very much the optimist. But I don't think we'll see a physical con will probably happen. Not for a while. I don't think cons are going away. I think they're going to be temporarily on hold until things improve. Would you think that would be a logical choice given what is kind of going on in the world?
Me?
Yes.
Oh,
the cat's snacking on cheese, and he got lost in the cheese, in the holes of Swiss cheese.
I hope so, yeah.
We were just talking about this before the podcast, and Kurdan was going through some pretty good ideas of how to manage a con during COVID, and while I'll definitely give anyone the credit to do exactly this, to limit the number of people in a panel room, or doing temperature checks at panel doors, or this and that, which, is very, very possible because it can be done. But a lot of people who go to conventions tend to party.
Yep.
They're not there typically to go to panels, so you're going to be having room parties, which you don't know who everyone is where.
Yeah.
How are they feeling?
Yep.
And those that do go to a room party, go to panels, are potentially infecting other people. And of course you are wearing face masks anyway.
That's my fear, though. How much can a con and con staff do to help prevent the spread when we don't know everyone's health?
Exactly. And
you have to go by, people's honesty. You can't.
Yeah. And people who might feel sick won't say they're sick, especially now because they're afraid of not getting laid off but being sent home for 2 weeks.
And even people that don't have a.
The cat's scared now.
Scared of my own farts. Even people that don't have symptoms could be a carrier.
Yeah.
So there's not 100%. It's not 100% guaranteed.
And this is where the drinking parties will be furries' undoing at fur cons. I am not a prohibitionist. I like my booze. I'm actually currently drinking a Bud Light, which, if you can call that booze, all right. But furries are social creatures like any other human being because we're just social. However, that's the undoing part, is in order to drink, you just can't drink through a mask unless you just like being sloppy and messy.
Take it off.
You have to take it off. And in an enclosed room party, which furries are going to do anyway, because because that's what furries do best, is a room party. Not saying that is a bad thing, but right now, having a room party where you don't have enough ventilation is not a good thing.
No.
And you can't trust anyone. And you expect a fur con to happen unless you were to limit the number of, if MFF, the only way MFF could probably happen properly is 2 things. You limit the number of people who show up, but then you won't limit the people who room in your hotel. So actually, and then here's my second one. Don't do a con in the first place. Which is where I'm going with this take. It's not a good take. We were talking about this a few months ago and whatnot, and I was like, nah. But now I'm starting to actually come around on this, where I have a feeling fur cons are going to have to be shelved for a few years. I can't see how they can go on in normal conditions without it actually harming a lot of people, going back to their respective cities, their respective states, their countries around the world. I cannot see how this can be good for society if we may potentially infect others at a rate that, I don't know, cons will certainly come back. I don't think the idea of a con will go away. And the Poos is really snacking hard. He has a thought. I just don't think right now having a fur con is the right thing to do. Your thoughts?
Wasn't there a Harley Davidson gathering?
Not that I know of.
In 2020 after COVID hit?
Not that I know of.
In Milwaukee?
And if they did...
it was the biggest gathering they've had in 20 years.
And you know what? Which explains why Milwaukee had a huge spike. So I wouldn't be surprised if that
No
came
one was
from that.
wearing masks. No one was socially distancing themselves. It was a mess. I remember because they were covering it. I was on break at work, and I saw it on the news. It was a Milwaukee thing.
I think that was foolish.
Yep.
I am really convinced a major national gathering is, I think, reckless. I don't see how you can make an event safe without knowing that you're still going to have a super spreader event.
I mean, their whole thing was it was over 5,000 people, but it was outside. But it was outside. That was their big thing.
Yeah. That's the only thing saving it.
Yep.
Still, you have hotel rooms.
Yep.
So you may have to be rooming with people, or I don't know. I don't want to be seen as the boogeyman of the furry fandom, but I really believe I can't see how FurCons can currently go on right now. Right?
As things are.
As things are, yes. I'm not saying they're going away forever. I am wholly agreeing with the fact that with current conditions right now, I do not think they could continue knowing the risks going on today.
Yeah.
I know people who would love to go to conventions. I would love to go to a convention right now. The problem is this pandemic is still ongoing, and many people thought it will be done by the end of 2020.
Yep.
It wasn't. People are saying that it's going to be done by the end at the end of the year, and you know what I say about that? Brought to you by Summit Cola. You know what I say about that?
What?
Don't predict something that you don't know is going to happen. I'm going off the old farmer's phrase. Do not count your chickens until they hatch. I'm just... Chickens. I mean, actually, chicken wings sound good about now. I hate to say it, but I'm starting to actually agree with you on the aspect that cons aren't probably going to happen for a while. They're not going away, but they cannot continue in their current form as of right now.
No, they need to evolve and change somewhat and be limited.
Mm-hmm. So, there's no way that people are going to be truthful. There is no way you can have a room party where they're going to be going through CDC guidelines. There's no way that you can keep people safe in a drinking room party where bottles are shared, which I'm hoping furries at least get the idea that sharing bottles is how people get sick at cons anyway. This is how con crud begins, is by sharing bottles. That alone can solve a lot of con crud issues. Yet furries get con crud because they go to room parties and they drink out of the same bottle that their friend does. Like, oh yeah, I actually trust my friend. Yeah, I trust my friends. The thing is, though, I don't trust if they're not sick or not.
It's just going to be a nastier, deadlier version of con crud, backed by COVID.
So, my thoughts with this, the only way conventions can physically go on is not by being physical at all. I think FurCons will need to go online for the coming years until the pandemic isn't a public safety issue, which some cons have already done. Yeah. And you know what? Functioned as ordinarily as it could. In fact, raised more money than they expected, and went along incredibly fine without any much, major issues.
Yeah.
Maybe a few glitches here and there, but usually all cons have some form of glitches in the form of stuff not working according to plan, but for the most part, nothing huge. FurCons will come back, but VR cons will take over at this point. I don't see how any con can hold an event in 2021 without them putting people's lives at risk. I don't even know with my new job when I will get the vaccine, if I'm ever going to get one, knowing that I'm going to be working with a ton of people. I don't know if I'll be able to get a vaccine. Not knowing. And international events, so music festivals, and of course national events like, well, music festivals, state fairs and whatnot, they're canceling. Or not, they will cancel. Just because they know that there's no real good way on combating it than just stay at home.
Yep.
So international events will drop in favor, while local furry scenes will fully take over from this point on. I think this pandemic will do one thing for furry. There will be more emphasis on local communities and local events at smaller venues with smaller numbers of people.
Yeah.
I think we will see an explosion, not that kind of explosion, but an explosion of furry events.
In my ass.
In his ass. That now Seaweed gets made fun of by a lot of Wisconsin furs of being the one community that has always got something going on. Every single weekend there's always something going on, which is a proud feat because not many furry communities can say that every month is packed with events. That's rare. I only know of one place that has done it, and that's Seaweed. I can't think of any other community that goes as far as providing this much entertainment for its local members. I can't think of any other. And consistently. Not one-take wonders, meaning multiple years of operation for each event. I think not just these events will continue, but new events of individuals will also be made and continue in their own right. Just be limited to whoever they want to invite over, meaning a few people. And you know what? People have been more online in the past year than they ever have been before.
Oh, yeah.
So, people are going to become YouTubers. You know what? Fine. Even I've decided to dig deep into YouTube lately. And you know what? I'm enjoying it. And so much so that I plan putting out more quality content in the year to come. That is if my new job doesn't take away all my free time that I've been trying to get by changing jobs to get time back. But that's neither here or there because I don't know enough about the workings of my new job yet, so I should not have to worry about something I don't know. I don't know. What are your thoughts about, COVID events in general? What are your thoughts, Mr. Sourpuss?
Well, like I said, with a con, realistically functioning again, steps would need to be taken. And
they need to be followed too.
Oh yeah, limitations will be put in place. What did I say? Screening yeah. People as they come into panels, taking temperatures. All the things that we do at my own workplace, because that's what I think of. We have over 300 or 400 people in my Walmart
at any one time.
I think we can have a convention again.
Oh, fair enough. So, about 300 people can be in your Walmart at one time, and that's just at one moment.
Yeah.
There could be a couple thousand people going through Walmart at any day.
Yeah.
Now...
Our stores, our capacity limit is 749 people.
During this pandemic?
At one time, during this pandemic. Well, we can have no more than 749 people at one time.
That would be a lot of people for a Walmart, and at least for that size Walmart too.
Yeah.
It's not a super Walmart, but it is a size bigger than the old one that was in the area.
Yeah.
So imagine that space. Imagine Walmart. Walmart Con. Imagine our local Walmart is a furry convention venue.
Yeah.
But without all the shit there, and you have rooms. Let's say the average con's got 2 or 3 major ballrooms. So maybe I don't know, you're still looking at 100 people max, and that's even spaced apart, and even still, that may not be enough spacing. You're looking at maybe 50 max. Panels wouldn't be able to actually not function properly, but you wouldn't have enough audience to do much.
You could. Everybody's got to mask up. Number one thing.
Oh, yeah.
You cannot come into a panel without a mask on. And I'm guessing, especially knowing the way First Squared is run, that they would supply at each door masks.
Yeah. Actually, masks, if you think about it, are cheap when you buy in bulk. So really, if you plan ahead of time, if you were to give someone a mask for every day, it really wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, it's an expense, but unfortunately, that's part of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Hand sanitizer, but knowing my high school, we would use it to get drunk off.
What?
Oh yeah, my school abused the hand sanitizer doing H1N1, and we got totally drunk off our asses by absorbing the alcohol into our skin by literally emptying out one entire dispenser into our hands at one point.
You were part of that?
I won't say anything. But then the school decided not to fill those up because they realized what they were being used for, and then
because that's dangerous.
Yeah.
You could die from that shit.
Oh yeah. My school that was unexpected.
That'd be like drinking what we use for cleaning fursuits instead of cleaning fursuits.
That's a chemical burn too.
Yeah.
Frankly, this is my opinion with what you've just mentioned about cons. I think it's a lot of effort put into a weekend that may or may not actually help anyone from getting COVID at the end of the day. And you might still have a super spreader of an event.
Yeah.
Playing devil's advocate, yes, you can go through all that effort, but are people still going to get sick? Perhaps.
People are still going to get sick even with it when COVID wasn't going on, though.
Well...
Which is kind of my point.
I mean, at least the common cold wasn't killing people left and right.
Concrud did.
I don't think many people died from Concrud, but they certainly had a bad weekend.
And some people did. Yeah, it's another flu, basically. And this is my thing, too, about the whole COVID. It is a flu, a strain of flu. So if you get it, do what you would do if you had a normal flu. Take care of yourself.
I think it's a flu with muscles. Like, it will beat the shit out of you.
Right, but my parents have now been vaccinated 2 times, and they didn't even get sick.
Well,
you know why?
Well, then their immunity is quite good, then.
No, not just. I reminded them. I friendly reminded them, and I said, you guys, if you're getting this vaccination, better be drinking more fluids than you normally do, and treat it like you have the flu.
Yeah.
You know, don't just sit there and hope that your system isn't going to react to it, because it will. I know people at my job that have gotten the vaccine, and it kicked their ass. They ended up being out of work for 2 weeks. And I asked them, what did you do those 2 weeks? I just laid in bed. Did you do anything else? No. Well, no wonder it kicked your butt. You didn't take care of yourself. You can't just sleep it off. You've got to hydrate.
Well, hydrate, but also rest. That's why they want you to rest while you're sick.
Right, but you have to hydrate as well. You cannot just... You have to really take care of yourself. A lot of dumb people out there not doing that. Which, funny thing, when I bring that up, makes me think of some of my coworkers. Not completely COVID related, but I've got one that likes to bring all her family drama with her to work and use up all of our time in the break room listening to her read text conversations of her family.
Oh, I hate that.
I can't get over. It's so annoying to listen to this. I pop my headphones in, I put YouTube on, and I try to drown out the noise. And I'm surprised that no manager has come to her and said, you know, you really shouldn't be bringing all this drama with you to work because you're distracting people. She goes into a department, she starts talking to them about her problems, moves on to the next department. I've heard her say the same story 6 times.
To different people.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
It wears me out.
That's just asking for attention because it is attention seeking.
It's very much attention seeking. And we know people like that in the fandom.
Oh, yeah. Always have to complain about at least something that is probably non-consequential, where I know a few friends who are going through a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But they have every right to complain because they're going through a lot. Where some of the problems that some people have is not worth really my time. I hate to say that because I like to help people, but it becomes a point in time when you really stop caring because you realize their issues in life are so much more smaller and they're much more bigger. No. They're much more smaller than... Oh, damn it, how does that go? Really, it's not a big deal. They make it a big deal out of something that isn't a big deal. And then I realized, wow, I actually wasted my time doing this.
Yeah, they make it... It's actually much smaller than they make it seem.
Yeah.
They make it seem like it's the world's problem, and it's really just something minuscule.
Yeah, it's the world is ending arguments. But in reality, it's you're having a bad day.
I don't even know her name. I just know I can hear her voice. When she starts to talk and she corners people, they can't get away. If you're in receiving, they have a little desk in receiving right by the doors for the trucks. And Abby can't get away. That's her desk. And this person's name that I can't remember will go up to her and just start talking and keep talking and keep talking. When she's done talking, she pulls her phone out. Oh, here's a new message. Now look what he said to my
I hate
mom.
that so much.
And I can't. I listen to this and I'm like, oh my God.
I will flat out say I don't have enough time for this.
Please go away.
Especially if it's on my break time. And
You're wasting my personal time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, at that point, I would pay no attention. They'll leave you alone.
No, that's not enough.
Don't even give them a time of day.
You have to leave or walk away, get away from her.
That's so wrong.
Or plug headphones in, be rude. This is the problem I see. People are rude when they shouldn't be, but sometimes they need to be rude when you're dealing with someone like this who just...
No, you're actually dealing rude with rude.
Yeah.
You have to be rude to someone who's being rude to abusing your own time off, that you're trying to relax.
Yeah.
And them not helping.
That is very rude.
Not to say that it's selfish. It's not selfish.
No.
But it is incredibly rude to be going on and on and on and on about your problems when someone's trying to perhaps deal with their own problems in life. And yet you have to deal... Now, not only are they dealing with their problems, now they got to listen to your shit that they say, in their mind, this shit's whack.
Yeah.
This bitch hasn't lived enough in my own world to understand that the stuff she's talking about is not worth my time.
It's inconsequential.
Yeah. My favorite word in the last 4 years. Non-consequential. Yeah. It's not a big deal.
But she burdens people with her problems.
To make them feel like shit.
No, just for...
No. Yeah, to make them feel like shit.
She burdens them to get them to say, oh, I'm so sorry you're dealing with this. She's looking for sympathy. Like, poor you. You were in a relationship with a man who didn't love you. Oh, poor you.
You're such a poor soul. Yeah.
Poor you. Your family hates you. And
turn that
what?
around. The space heater. I'm absolutely freezing.
No. I just left it the way you had it.
Aw. Actually, there we go.
Yeah.
And it goes towards us.
Yep.
Yeah, freezing Wisconsin. Yeah, to me, I find it rude and really a bother.
It is.
It's one thing when it happens. We got time. It's one thing when you're having a bad day and you want to talk about it. That's one thing.
Yeah.
When you do it every damn day, every damn break, every damn lunch.
Every day. Every break, every lunch.
What does she do at lunch? Does she eat and bitch?
Yes.
So does she go...
She was reading her phone messages.
Oh my God! My boyfriend's wearing my underwear, huh? Well, I don't like that.
Kind of.
Am I at least getting close with the topic?
Not really.
Ah.
More just like a he said, she said. And then he said this to my mom, and my mom said this back.
My baby daddy. Or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of baby daddies.
Uh-oh.
Me and my coworker, Lauren, were talking about Jerry Springer and Maury Povich.
Okay.
Do you know either of these people?
I know Jerry Springer.
Talk show host?
Mm-hmm.
No?
I heard of Jerry Springer, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They did this whole... Maury's doing it now, where he has some poor sap come on, and some other poor sap, and then they do the whole... My boyfriend cheated on me with a tadpole.
Oh, they're trying to one-up each other. That's so stupid.
Yeah. And Maury, now, his show, the formula for every episode is the same. Is Kevon, the father of so-and-so's baby.
I absolutely hate that. I hate that so much. Wanting up a conversation when it didn't need to be.
And then he's like, okay, well, we've got the DNA test right here, and it shows that Kevon is not the father. And then the guy gets up and he starts dancing.
And then he does backflips and whatnot.
He's like, in your face, bitch. I can keep putting my dicks in all the pussies. This is what we talk about at work today.
That's funny.
And when it says, oh, Kevon is the father, he like puts his head in, he's like, oh man, this sucks. My life is over. I have to be a dad now. And she's all like dancing and in your face, asshole. You gotta pay me this and that and all those things.
The thing about one-upping is that for someone in dire need, just to hear them out, if they don't do it enough to irritate you, they are doing it because it's a last resort just to be heard.
Yeah.
I get that. One thing I hate about one-uppers is when they say, hey, my cat died. It is the worst moment they're feeling right now, and they just want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, oh yeah, well I broke my foot, and my got shot in the head by a Chevy Blazer while on fire.
Yep.
When you say stupid shit like that to someone who's probably hurting, you make their problems mean less. Yeah. Then they realize, wow, I guess I don't matter.
Yeah, it's rude.
Yeah, I can say, oh yeah, Crown Victoria shot my family at one point in life, but when someone's having a bad day, I shouldn't have to bring that up. Says, oh, well, what's wrong with you? Oh, my grandparents died in a car accident. Oh, so? Well, my parents died by police Crown Victoria. Not even the police involved, just actually the car. It's like, oh. You know how that belittles people?
It does. Yeah.
It just means, oh, wow, I didn't realize you had it bad, so that means I gotta suck it up.
The whole thing with this shows, though, the talk shows that I was talking about, it's all fake.
No, I figure.
These are all people that are actors.
I mean, you had me a talk show that I already knew, yeah, that doesn't sound like it's going to be any... It's not going to be tied to any bit of reality.
No. But so many people believe that they are real.
That's the sad part.
My old boss, my next-door neighbor, she thought they were real.
Trump supporters.
Yeah. She did. They are.
I'm sorry, I had to take a stab at that, but to be honest, someone believed that a TV reality star could do a better job at being president, and that 4-year was a joke. I'm not going to go deeper than that, but holy fuck. It's sad to see that people will believe, oh, he's a good businessman. Yeah, he's a good businessman. He got himself bankrupt 6 times, but, you know, that's what businessmen do.
That's not a good businessman.
No.
Well, we shouldn't be talking about him.
No.
He is inconsequential now.
Yeah. Unconsequential. Or unconsequential? Inconsequential? I forget what the word is now.
I think for that instance, it's inconsequential.
I need more beer for that now.
Brought to you by Bud Light.
The world-renowned beer.
And Summit Cola. And Clancy's Honey Wheat Pretzels.
I mean, really, what it comes down to this episode, the world sucks. Now, I'm about to make it better for you. Do something awesome only for you. And share it with the world.
Yep.
And everyone is going to say, wow, that is really cool. You know what? I didn't think about making I've had my YouTube channel for a very long time. However, I didn't really use it at all. Until the last, I would say the last 5 months, 6 months by now, that I started to use it on a regular basis. And you know what? I'm self-entertaining myself because I want to at least share my thoughts. I don't get a chance to really say my thoughts too much to anyone, and I really don't know who to exactly talk to about some things, because some of it's kind of boring and stupid, so it's like, I'm not going to bore people with that, but I still want to bore you guys anyway. The thing is, though, you have selective interests, whether or not you want to actually listen to my bullshit anyway. And you know what? I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it to the fact that I have about 3/4-inch stack of ideas about stuff to talk about in future videos that might maybe gather 30 minutes to like an hour, like a high quality video, just being a nerd. Because you know why? Nerd Hoosk. Because you know that. Because if you don't know that, now you know. Yep. And just do fun things that I like to think is fun. When the world is starting to suck, that's when you reconcile with yourselves and say, what is something I can do to make my own world feel like a better place? And often enough, being a silly goofball online is often enough the best way to do that. Because you get an audience that might enjoy the things that you do. And you know what? It's genius. Which, me and Kurdan did a silly goof video that I still have to edit. But it's gonna be good because it's based on a reference, or not on a. It's not a meme, is it? It's just a reference.
What? I forget what we did.
The ducks. The dicks. You totally forgot.
I completely forgot.
It involves a certain cockroach.
Oh, that.
Yeah. So once I get a video going.
Oh, you haven't put it up yet?
I haven't had a chance to edit it, and just got to get through a bit of this week and a bit of my own time to get to it. But I'll certainly get to it this week.
Do it tonight.
It's certainly stuff like that that makes doing things for the internet's fun. Whether if it's educational or just for sillies, you got to do what you can to keep yourself sane in this crazy world. The only one who can change your environment is you. Am I right, Poos?
Yes.
If you don't like a loafing spot, you go to a different loafing spot.
Oblivion.
Oblivion? There we go.
That's what it is. That's all I'm going to say. I'm probably giving way too much away, but...
Or people are still clueless and they still don't know what...
They'll know.
Uh-oh. You gotta find things to do to enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Side hustles. What have you?
I thought you were going to say side hugs for a second there.
Christian side hug.
Yeah.
Oh, Christian side hug.
You could do a Christian side hug.
It's when it's when no penises are actually touching.
Yeah.
Or butts. It's literally just side ass to side ass.
The way Christ intended.
Yep.
Sorry.
There's going to be a lot of crunching. I don't know how much crunching is going to be heard, but...
The whole podcast is just me crunching.
Oh, yeah. Cat's neck. I really think if you haven't started in 2020, you have all of 2021 to do what the hell you want online. Because get a list of things you want to talk about and do with your friends that are local that you can have on 1 or 2 at a time. Or record on your smartphone on selfie mode, leaning against an external hard drive while talking in a sack, or actually sitting in a sack, talking about stuff. That would be the best kind of fun you will probably have for the next year. Because I don't know when I'll be able to see many of the other friends that I do have, besides maybe disc golfing, which I'm looking forward to every minute now. The less likely chances that I'll be going to a fur con in the next year just makes me excited about wanting to get starting the disc golf season a lot more sooner than last year, because I waited till June or July, which is way too late in the season. I should have started a lot more sooner than that. So who knows, April, May, start doing some disc golfing, and it's outside and it's safe enough as it is because you're out and about. Although, because of my new job, who knows, that might actually change. My friends will be able to enjoy disc golfing, but I don't know. I might be working. The unfortunate bit about a new job is that you're at the bottom of the totem pole. And when it's union, which I'm more excited about, you really are at the bottom of the totem pole, which isn't first come, first serve. It's literally you're waiting in line for the next better gig in your company because everyone else is taking the best gig that they want.
With that in mind, get in good with whoever it is you need to get in good with.
Are you saying, like, when in prison, you want to smack the largest bitch you can find, or be the biggest bitch to the biggest person you can find?
Be the biggest bitch. Give them your hole. Show them your hole.
Show them your ass, and they say, okay, I'll keep you under my wing and my dick.
Yep. His name is Percy. He usually is.
Oh, no. And
I'm Percy's bitch.
Oh.
He protects me, and I give him my hole.
Oh, my God. I mean, I've never had a union before, so this will be something interesting, but what it seems like, being at the bottom of that pole, I'm pretty much literally at the will and mercy of what's given to me. I may be given only one route, which I will be surprised that they have that many drivers at that one point that they only needed one. I'm going to be shocked that they only needed one driver, because it seems kind of like a revolving door like most jobs.
My question, it really is this. The majority of clientele is going to be what?
Pretty much seniors,
okay,
people with disabilities,
yep,
and people in wheelchairs.
You're looking anywhere from like 6 in the morning to like
8 at night.
Not even. I wouldn't go beyond like 6 in the evening, because they can't see at night.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, also, too, disabled people can also be young, so I can at least expect that. But I'm at least thinking for those who are elder, I can expect to see a big drop in clientele after 8.
Yeah.
Because at that point, they're in bed. Which, good for them, because sleeping is good, and I enjoy sleep.
The majority of your
I'm sure they're up at the crack of dawn at 5 or 6, but before then, I think they're still in bed.
Majority of them are going to be going to Walmart.
Pick and save.
Yep.
Probably getting their hair cut or whatever.
Yep. I see buses like the one you're going to be driving outside of our store all the time.
Yep. I see them all over the place in this area.
Mostly around noon. Between like 10 and 1.
You know what would be great? Is if my shift happens to be one of their busier times during the day. I don't mind busy, so as long as I get off for the rest of the afternoon, I'm fine. Yeah. I don't want to be waking up at 3 a.m. and the butt crack of morning. Or at the crack of dawn, I should say. Because dawn has a crack. And then dusk. Dusk is a man. Or a woman. I don't know.
I mean, I'm up at 2:55 every morning. I don't get to see the sun for 4 hours. 3-4 hours.
The thing is, though, your store don't open till what?
7.
So even still, most businesses don't open unless it's a plant.
No.
And I doubt someone disabled, wheelchaired, or senior is going to be working and doing a third shift like that.
Oh, no? You should see all the people that work at my store in the evening, at night.
No, I'm actually thinking about the plants that I'm thinking of. I am talking about factory jobs, not Walmart, pick and save, whatnot. I expect that. I'm actually talking about the plants that I've been visiting for the last 2 years.
Right.
Of people who are actually working as hard as I am, which are 24/7, always open. I highly doubt someone is going to be waking up at midnight to get somewhere at 4 a.m. Unless it's emergency, I highly doubt that... What's up?
I thought I felt something sting me or bite me.
It's that spider.
It better not be.
That you forgot to kill like 3 months ago. Now it's huge. Like the size of your hand.
Well, if he's hiding in these holes, I'm pushing my finger in trying to smush him.
And you're fingering him. The spider likes it.
No, not if he's dead.
You fingered his anus, which happens to be the whole spider now, because it's all the anus now.
Wow.
Oh my God! Don't eat it. Oh my god, that looks so bad. I know what it is, but oh my god, that looks so bad. You look like the one guy from, Caddyshack, where there was a Snickers bar in a pool, and, was it Rodney Dangerfield would, pick it up and eat it in front of a woman, and she's like, ah!
Yeah.
Just kind of like, oh my god, it's a floating turd! Oh, wait a minute. It's a Snickers bar. Oh. And then just in horror, just watch a man eat what looks like a turd.
Yep.
People don't know what the hell we're actually talking about, but...
For clarification, I just ate a little dollop of creamy almond butter. Thank you very much. Not a turd.
Not a turd, no.
Much to your dismay.
Actually, as we all know, this is a very shitty show.
Yeah.
So actually, we've somehow went full circle on that.
We did.
I don't know. I'm actually still pretty excited about my job. I still don't know what my schedule is until I finish training. I have a hard time believing that I will be up unless in a bus down by the river, Root River in that case. I have a hard time believing that I'll be in a bus till 1 a.m. in the morning. And apparently through the union, apparently I'd have to be contractually need to stay an hour overtime after my shift. Which, I don't know. If you give me a shift time, I'd rather go home as soon as I'm done, because staying an extra hour is just danger on top of that. Apparently that's what this company does. I don't know. Speaking about new companies and changing over and whatnot, but has anyone ever got an interview through a company and got a job and never actually looked at any reviews online from Yelp or Indeed or whatever? I tend to only look after I got the job to then realize either how screwed or how alright I'm doing. And nothing from this past job is going to scare me from this one. Unless things are so horrible that I don't have a life anymore, which is a problem because nothing's happening anymore right now, but I still want my time off anyway. But with any job, someone's going to be unhappy and they're going to post a review or, pretty much a review about their jobs, about what they don't like about it, which is perfectly normal because you know why? Work sucks.
Speaking of, have you looked up any reviews about your company?
Not in 2 years, but I have.
No.
And it matches exactly how it is.
I don't mean your current company. I mean the company you're going to be going to.
That's what I was talking about.
Oh.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. Where no one's really happy about their jobs. And someone at my company told me, if you don't like where you work, find another job and quit. Which is exactly what I did. I did not like where I was working, so I found another job. And I did. And now I'm going. I'm convinced in my personal experience, I don't know anything about what you guys do outside in the world of the internet, about your job experiences, but from my own experiences, my current job right now until Friday is the worst I've ever had in 11 years working. In the workforce, I have never experienced a more shit job than this before. My coworkers are amazing people. It's just my boss makes things so awful that I am
much more worse than this should be.
Oh yeah, and this is supposed to be an easy job.
Yeah.
And yet my boss has found an industrialized way to just make things suck on a level that it shouldn't suck.
That is a bored person.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's bored and he's privileged.
Yep. I am convinced that regardless of where I go in life, I don't think I'll ever find something worse. And if I do, I will be shocked because 2 years, 2 months, well, technically it'll be 3 months really, is unbearable. I can't believe I lasted as long as I did. Many people are surprised that I lasted as long as I did. The average turnover rate is few months. I lasted 2 years, about 3 months. The longest someone would go on a short-term employment is 5 years. And after that, they quit because they can't stand it anymore, which I don't know why.
Did you see the average turnover is about 2 months?
Sort of, yeah.
Do you know what ours is?
2 days?
No, not that short. It's pretty short. It was a little bit longer than that. 2 weeks.
I kind of expect that.
Yeah.
I kind of expect that. Actually, the shortest amount of time that I've seen a worker at my company was 3 days.
Yeah.
And he was there before. That's why it only took him 3 days before he realized, oh, that's why I left this job, and he never came back again. He realized my boss is still a turd and decided to, yeah, I'm not coming into work anymore. Yeah, that didn't last very long.
We had 6 people within 2 weeks.
All of them
are
are
gone.
Wow, that is bad. That is actually pretty bad.
That's really bad. And these are the online grocery shoppers, the personal shoppers. And we think we know why.
Why is that?
A person in charge of our online grocery is a bitch.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She's not likable at all.
Sounds like my boss. Actually, she and my boss would get along quite well then.
Every half hour, 20 minutes, she calls everybody back to the back room. Whether you're on a walk, which means you're out picking up stuff for a customer, like you're basically shopping for them.
Yeah.
Every half hour, every 20 minutes, everybody come back to the back room. And they all look at me like, oh, God, again?
Yes, that's exactly how I feel about one of my bosses. 214, come to my office. Thank you. Almost 8 times a day. That's once an hour.
How do they expect you to get anything done when they keep doing that?
You don't get anything done.
Yeah.
Which I want to go back in time, reinvent English language, that the translation of come to my office is I shit myself. 214, I shit myself. Thank you. And at least it'll make it more funny.
Yep.
Craig, can you see me in my office?
That's not his. Who's this butt boy again?
It's Greg, but he don't really care about my boss either, but he only goes along with him because he knows that it's the easy way to go.
Yeah.
Although he's more bored about the boss more than anyone is because he's the one that gets called in on average 4 or 5 times in 1 hour each hour for an 8-hour day. He's in that office more than he is actually working. That's the shocking bit about that.
That's so ridiculous.
My boss loves the intercom system so much that he has set it to his own personal worker number, 72 being the whole building. He has such an ego trip. He had gotten IT to change the extension for his phone to be reached all around the whole plant to his own personal number. Not just his extension. His worker ID number.
Wow. That's a
power trip right there.
That's definitely a power trip.
And every single time I hear this, Greg's like, oh, for fuck's sake. You can hear this across the plant as he's walking by and I feel you, man, because you can't get shit done. Why my boss thinks, oh, well, none of you guys get any done anyway. It's like, well, I wonder why. Then he calls us to his office at least 4, 5, 6 times a day.
What does he say? I don't understand.
Oh, stupid shit. Shit that I already knew or shit that I didn't want to know.
You guys need to work faster.
I shit you not. Ha, shit. And actually, is going on to that. He just told me that he just made a massive dump.
What?
He had told me that he had made a massive dump and he wanted to declare that to the world like 2 years ago. It's like, whoa, you're going to talk to me about your colon now? Okay. The amount of times that my boss has talked to me about his bowel movements is actually kind of depressing.
That's a bored human being.
Yeah. He don't need to be on this planet anymore. If he's talking about the types of shits that he's taken in a week and talking to me about it, it's like, yo, dude, you need to get better hobbies and talk about your deuces. And that's our job to talk about deuces on our podcast, and yet to be talking about other people's deuces is just no. What did you just do? Oh, no! No, don't you dare! Don't you dare do that! No, don't put it towards me! Oh, what are you doing? Don't look at it that... Oh, no, do not look at it like that! What are you doing? No! No! Bad! No! Oh, no, no! Oh, he's got it in his mouth! Oh, no! Oh, wait, it's still in his finger! Ah! Oh, he's looking at it again! Oh, that's still on his finger! Oh my god! Oh my god, he's savoring it! Oh, no one has no idea what the hell we're actually doing. They're showing off now. But for real though, I will not be missing the talk about politics every damn hour of every day. I will not be missing, hey, can you come to my office? Thank you. It's like, dude, can you like combine about 4 of these into one so I don't have to keep getting just berated by stupid shit that doesn't need to be talked about?
Yeah.
Has anyone called you into anyone's office?
Once.
Was that from the incident?
Yes.
Okay, then we will not talk about that. I somehow happen to be in that man's office at least 4 times a day, and no more than 10.
Other than that, we do everything we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Usually.
And no one bothers you.
No one bothers us.
Oh my god, I wish I cannot be bothered by doing my own work.
That's partially why I enjoy my job so much.
Is that no one bothers you.
No one bothers me.
Do your job and you do it well and then you leave.
As long as when I leave that back room, there's no sign of any of the freight that came in. It could have been 8 pallets. And you would never know. Because it's all been worked out into the floor, or it's all been put up into the shelves. And it's also organized, and everything that's older has been moved out, and everything's been rotated.
FIFO. First in, first out.
First out.
Yep.
And you, like...
And are you doing this?
Yes.
And no one else is doing this?
No. Everybody in the morning does this. I don't know about nighttime so much. We only get freight once a day. Mostly
freight comes in the morning anyway, because trucks are supposed to pick up in the afternoon. That's how it works. Here's a little hint to those in the outside world. If you see a semi-truck in the morning, anytime in the morning, they're likely... Schultz. They are 7 out of 10 going to actually drop off their load at any place. However, anytime after noon or 1 o'clock, any semi-truck you see on the road is more likely 7 out of 10 picking up something to transport to a collection station.
Yep.
You just learned something today. Information I'll probably never likely use again.
You never know.
I never know. Actually, I still have a skill of being in a shipping department and whatnot, so that's something cool.
Yeah.
So at least in my 2 years, 3 months here, I've learned something. And I've done it incredibly well. Unlike Charles, who's devolved into a 5-year-old baby who seems to shit himself every time he thinks, I need help! And then gets me for help, but then while I'm boxing and stuff, putting down rollers or like a rolling conveyor belt down to shipping, He don't help me with boxing. It's like, dude, if you help me with boxing for even 30 minutes, we can get half this shit done. And I can handle the rest. No, he just let me box for the rest of the day. That's not how it works. The only way shit's going to go out the door is if both shipper and boxer help together. No, he just likes the idea of being getting help and not do shit. When I was shipper, nothing was left over from the end of the day. Everything went out the door. Charles, well, he's... Next week is going to be a day of reckoning for him, because I don't think he's going to realize how much he actually relied on me for work. He's totally fucked. He thinks he's going to have it good. He's totally fucked anyway. He thinks he's swamped. Shit, I was swamped with boxing for him, and I could have used his help. Even if I asked for his help, he probably wouldn't do anything. He'd probably complain, I'm swamped with work. And then just
sounds.
I'm actually embellishing, but he does talk like he's talking on the roof of his mouth, in a sense of, so I guess I got to do all the work around here. I'm doing my fair share. How about you? I'm doing my fair share. I'm doing more than my fair share. That's how he actually talks. And he's a reborn-again Christian. But yet, he is the most horrible... he's not the most horrible human being there. It's my boss. But he's not perfect by any means, and there's a lot that he can improve about himself.
They think they are.
Yeah. I am not ripping out on anyone who still holds belief in faith or is reborn-again Christian, but for some reason Charles thinks he's the greatest thing on earth, yet I don't know, I just don't see it. And I don't claim to be the greatest thing on earth either, because you know why? I don't think so. I'm not, and that's okay. I am just a hoosk. I'm just a hoosk in a world full of hoosks. And that's okay. I'm just one hoosk. Swirling. Hopefully, to get close to another swirl. So we can have a swirl party. Or someone to stack swirls on top of swirls. Then just have a continuous, very warm column of swirls. They'd be adorable. Until one of them wants to wake up. And then it's a mess. Yeah, there's a lot of things I am not going to miss. I'm only going to miss the people I used to work with. The people I saw in different factories. I'm going to miss those people. However, beyond that, there's not a lot that I'm going to miss from this current company right now. I'm not going to miss the politics speak, which, frankly, should not even belong in the workplace. I'm not going to miss, hey, I need to see you in my office, okay? Okay. It's like, dude... This is like the fourth damn time about the same stupid shit that I always say I already know that. Like, oh, okay. And then I go back to my work. It's like, that's like 3 minutes of work that I could have used for something else. Yeah. You know what? I'm kind of excited. A new opportunity ahead. I won't know what's going to happen, so open mind on that. The idea is a better opportunity.
Yeah, it should be good.
And I will tell anyone who's looking for a new job, always believe that this opportunity is going to be better than your previous one. Because in some way, shape, and form, you've took away from what you've learned in the last job that you've had, you can apply to your new one. Whether if it's job skill or experience, you know exactly what to look for. Now, you know what I've learned about this past job? I've learned patience. I've learned how to be patient against people who absolutely fucking annoy me. But you know what? I do it because I know that I need to keep my job. Or at least, not really to keep my job. I didn't really want it, but I did it to keep the sanity. Whether if that's good or not to bottle it in. I don't know. That's just something I kind of learned. Patience is a virtue. You have anything to say about that, Mr. Poos?
It definitely is.
And then I know you are actually currently looking for a job. Or at least were,
mildly,
but I'm sure you still are.
Mildly still looking, keeping my options open.
I'm thinking maybe because they're waiting for me to show up for the very first day, I wonder if they're not hiring anyone new until they get someone like me in, who's willing to put in the time for training and whatnot to actually get in. So I would say keep applying for that transit job just to see what happens.
Yeah.
I think they're just solely waiting for me to show up just so that they know, oh, hey, this person's actually serious. Because I can't tell you how many times people would say they would show up to their first day of work, got a different job somewhere else, never tell the original company, and just let them hang in. Mind if I rant about temp agencies?
Sure.
I got nothing against temp agencies. They're meant for people who have not a clue where to exactly look, but really are feeling out in the workforce to see what jobs are possibly good match for them. And if you're able to find a good match, perfect. If you're a good quality worker, you'll never have an issue keeping a job. I'm talking about temps from temp agencies that are total garbage. People who, within their first day of work, asked to take off half the day for their son or whatnot, which I like to believe you're telling the truth, but every single time we've had a new temp, they're always asking for time off that they don't technically have. Yeah, you are given a day off to use when you really need it, but we've had so many temp agencies through this past job that it's insane. We've had one guy barely here 3 weeks, had off, I think it was like 3 days, three and a half days of work from 3 weeks, and he was only there for that long. He was off at least a day off each week. It's insane. If you're really serious about having a job, at least make sure that you show up to work.
Yeah.
One morning, he said that his car didn't start. But you know what you do if your car didn't start? You take an Uber. You find a way to get to work, right? You might be coming in late, but at least showing up means you're willing to still work for your day, right? I don't know. Temp agencies can be used by anyone, and those who know how to use it get the most out of them. But there is a lot of clueless idiots out there that literally just bounce around a job. And having worked at this company that only hires from temp agencies, me and Tony were the last people to be hired on the job that was not a temp agency. That was 2.5 years ago. And before then, it was 3 years. So when you really think about it, they get more people from temp agencies than they do get from just people walking in from the street for a job. I don't know. I'm too prideful of finding a job by myself. I understand that someone helps me, like, hey, I know a position at my plant that would probably take someone like you. I'm going to give you a job application, a job number, a phone number, contact these people, and schedule something. I would rather look for a job, but if someone can offer me, hey, I have an idea that might be better for you, I'll certainly take it, but I'm going out of my way to do it. But a temp agency, I kind of have a bit more pride in the sense of just helping me for me, and sometimes that's not always something for everyone. But some of the temps that we've got were absolutely just people that didn't care to work.
Yep.
And they were the ones that actually got a job that was going to pay them all right.
See, I don't understand why people like that apply for jobs if they don't want to work
there. Yeah.
Same thing with all the people that have quit Walmart. Then why did you apply?
Right. What did you expect from Walmart? Better than what you were expecting. And if you did, great. You found something that you were kind of expecting.
I mean, Walmart has a, what do you call it? It's world renowned for being a trashy place.
It has been because of people who only work there at their lowest, or at their, not at their lowest, when they're down on their luck and they need to find a job just to make ends meet. That's the job that always someone goes to. It's no longer McDonald's anymore. It's Walmart, because they think, hey, they're everywhere. I can just get a job at Walmart, and there we go.
You can.
Almost quite literally. You might be able to walk into a Walmart and ask for a job, and they'll say, "Hey, here's a time to get an interview and a walk around, and you're hired if you want it."
Yeah.
McDonald's has openings that you have to look for. Walmart, there's always an opening somewhere.
Oh yeah.
I think the beauty about Walmart, if there's anything I can use a word to say beauty, is that there is a schedule for everyone's needs.
Yeah, there definitely is.
It's flexible for those that need a particular schedule.
You can make your own shift up.
Or that too, yeah.
Really, you can make your own shift up. You don't have to be up there at 4 in the morning. You don't have to be there at 1 in the afternoon. You can come in at 7 or 8 and work till 3 or 4. And any Walmart store would be happy to have you. And if you're a good worker, if you have good work ethic, even better. Just enough to care about the job, to at least get it done.
Although they may not notice you so much, but if you stay there long enough...
Don't expect to be noticed.
Oh, really? Oh.
It's a corporation. As long as you don't fuck up, you won't be noticed. Let's put it that way. It's such a big corporation that the noticing factor is...
negligible.
Being noticed when you mess up.
Oh.
When you don't do what you're supposed to be doing.
Uh-oh.
So, I guess think of it as kind of a thankless job.
Most of my jobs have usually been thankless, but I kind of expect that.
I mean, when I first started here, actually, Sabine was really cool in the beginning. Mm-hmm. She thanked us every day for our hard work because we got everything done.
That's rare.
The unfortunate thing is she had a huge crush on me.
She wanted the cat Spike.
Yep. And
you're like, I'm gay.
Well, we had daily conversations about dicks we'd suck.
Aw.
Not much gayer than that.
When I ship at my company and when I get help at the very last minute to help me through the last 30 minutes or an hour or 90 minutes of my day if it's insane,
yep.
I always thank anyone who helps me. Hey, I appreciate your help last 30 minutes because I appreciate it, because without that help I'd be screwed.
Yep.
Charles today didn't say a single word to me. Didn't say, oh, thank you for the help. No. He's just selfish in the way that, I got help because if I complain more, I can get it. And I can slack off while doing so.
How does he say it again? I need help.
I'm overwhelmed. I am swamped. I'm very swamped. It's like, oh yeah, sure, you're swamped while I'm helping you. I'm helping you, but you're not helping me helping you. In the sense that I could use your help in helping your ass out. Which you don't do.
That is a selfish employee.
Oh yeah, you know it. He's also the van driver. And last week, he had to make an emergency delivery run to Cooper out in South Milwaukee. And, well, it snowed on... It was going to be bad on Thursday. So, he took the van on Wednesday. So you know how you would put your windshield wiper blades up when it snows or when it's icy and whatnot, so that it doesn't stick to the windshield.
Yeah.
So when you use your wiper blades, it don't rip the blade part off your wiper arms.
Yep.
Or really the rubber bit that helps bead water out of the way. I do that every time I get out of the van because I know, hey, if it frosts over or if it snows suddenly or rains or whatnot, wiper blades are not my issue for the next morning. At least I scrape a bit of it off. I put the wiper arms down. I drive around with no vision in my parking lot. Just stick my head out the window and then guide myself into my bay. That's how I start my morning. No, Charles puts the wipers down. He parks the van away, but he doesn't put the wiper blades up. That's a step that can help you when it snows. That way you don't have to worry about just dealing with shit. I don't know, selfish. Uh-oh. The Sourpuss is on a hunt. I don't know for what for, but he is zooming. But selfish employees, they're the worst. They're the ones that whine the most, that do the least amount of work, and when you help them, they will never say thank you. They're the ones that you probably should stay away the most. Because the closer you are to them, the more likely they will like you to be the ones to bail them out every time. My advice to some of you is if you know any of these coworkers, if you can, avoid them as much as you can. Because they will beg for your help when they do shit for the whole day. Fuck around, they will be crying for help, and your either awesome supervisor or absolutely shithead supervisor is going to assign you to bail their ass out for the rest of the day when you could be better off doing your own work. And when you're there to only help them, you expect, hey, you're only there to help them get the work done. But when there's more work to be done and not enough of you to go around, you could use some help to get that work done. Well, people are, people get selfish. And often enough, sometimes you're better off saying no. I take it Puss is okay.
Yes.
Aww.
But I'm gonna loaf soon because because
you're losing your voice.
No, I got something caught in my throat.
And that's why you walked out? Oh, I was gonna say, that just scares me every time.
Oh, we had a conversation about that. I was mentioning to Lauren that I've had issues where some food didn't go down all the way.
Yep.
Kind of like what happened at State Fair.
Yep.
Which scared the crap out of you.
Iceberg lettuce.
I still apologize to you for that because it's just me. Well, I'm not apologizing entirely because I blame the lettuce.
Yep. That chunk of iceberg lettuce was too big.
Yep.
And Puss did not chew down enough on iceberg lettuce.
But, yeah, I was talking to her about it because it happens occasionally where food just doesn't go all the way down. And she was like telling me about how she has the same thing. And I said, if you ever see my eyes start to bug out, it's me trying not to panic while waiting for this food to finish moving. God. It's already past the windpipe.
Oh yeah. It's just it's always a ass puckering moment.
Generally, it's just past the windpipe.
Where you can still breathe.
Yeah, I can still breathe, but it's not far from it. So it's definitely the ass puckering is the best way to put it.
Yeah. Because that's the only thing your body will do, knowing, oh, fuck.
Because then your first instinct is usually to grab a glass of water or something.
Yeah.
To help force it down.
A little bit of water.
A little bit. I made the mistake one time of getting more than a little bit of water, and then...
It filled in your lungs.
Well, no, but it got close to it. It's hard. I mean, I don't know how many inches there is from your, just past the mouth down to the stomach.
I don't know.
Like 7 inches maybe? 7, 6 inches.
I am not a biologist, but that stuff just gets me, ugh.
Because the stomach is like about, the stomach is right about here. And then your intestines are all here. He does not like thinking about all the insides.
No, it's just something I don't ever want to think about.
I'll do it on me.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
So heart is here in the front. Stomach is in the middle, about here.
No,
and the intestines start about here. And the intestines take up...
Actually, they take up the whole core of your trunk.
The whole core of your abdominal area.
Yeah. Also known as the trunk.
Yeah. So intestines, stomach. I always think of the stomach being lower where your belly is, but it's not.
It could be. Actually,
it isn't.
Pretty much where your ribs kind of end is where your diaphragm is for your lungs.
Well, but your lungs
and I
are
believe,
on the outside.
They're pretty much maintained. They're very much within your rib cage.
Yeah.
And then I think the stomach is below the diaphragm.
Yeah.
I am not scientific in any way, but that alone just gets me kind of...
where the rib cage ends, that's where the stomach is. The stomach is just here. So from here up is all throat.
Trachea.
And then the
esophagus.
Windpipe is about here. Food usually gets stuck.
Probably like around here, yeah.
Right around here. And it's very uncomfortable. If anybody's ever...
It's a pressure, yeah.
Dealt with it, they know what it feels like.
Oh, yeah. It's scary for me. That's why I don't eat fast. And you know this of me, and you've dated me for 5 years.
Yeah.
I don't eat fast. Do I eat fast?
No.
No. I don't eat fast because you know why? I choke. And I've done that way too many times with food to know that, you know what, if I just slow down and just chew my food, I will survive. Locals make fun of me like, oh yeah, Dawson's still chewing his food. It's like, well, I don't like to choke, and I don't trust any of you to know how to actually save me. I'm the only one that's got, as far as I know, Red Cross training. I can't Red Cross training myself.
What's the exercise video that we talk about all the time? The one you did, where it's a progressive... It gets harder each time you do it.
Oh, the pacer test?
The pacer...
The pacer fitness test is a fitness test for blah, blah, blah. And then no one else cares about after that.
And then the SpongeBob, they do it, and it's like, the Fitness Gram Pacer Test!
Ah!
And they're all like yelling and screaming and running. Fitness Gram Pacer Test!
Oh, curse you, Fitness Gram Pacer Test!
Curse you, Fitness Gram, but bless you, Vine, for bringing that back.
I miss Vine.
That's a nice art.
That is a very nice art. You will have to send that to me.
I retweeted it. I thought I retweeted it.
Well, I think it's a perfect time to probably end things.
I think so.
All right, well, this is another episode of the Zooming Hoosk Podcast, and once again, I'm your host, Dustin DaHusky.
I'm Kurdan Sourpuss.
And this episode's a bit heavy in a whole bunch of other ways, but we're just trying to, make sense of what's going on in the world right now, and we're all worried as much as you are about things. But fear not, this won't last forever. It shouldn't. It just means that we're going to have to wait for some of the fun for, another time. But that just means you get to listen to us a lot more often. So in that case, we'll catch you next time.